We have a major trade update. We know that Giannis Antetokounmpo requested a trade to the Knicks this offseason. However, the Bucks have set the asking price sky high for any Giannis trade. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. This episode is presented by FanDuel. We have a goal of trying to reach 40,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content, please hit that subscribe button. And now, let's get started. Insane Giannis Antetokounmpo asking price. Things are not looking good in Milwaukee. The Bucks look terrible without Giannis. And now, the end is coming. Giannis's final days in Milwaukee are finally here. Shout out to ESPN's Brian Windhorst for giving us this following information. And shout out to Forbes insider Evan Cedarty for breaking it down for us. According to them, many around the NBA now firmly believe this will be Giannis Antetokounmpo's last season with the Bucks. Now, the question is whether Giannis will ask out of Milwaukee before the trade deadline or wait until the offseason. And let's not forget, this offseason, Giannis Antetokounmpo specifically wanted to be traded to the New York Knicks. We cannot forget that. Shout out to Brian Windhorst for also stating the following on a recent edition of Get Up on ESPN. According to Windhorst, he reported yesterday that Giannis Antetokounmpo requested a trade from the Bucks this offseason. He followed that report up by stating the following: Giannis specifically wanted to be traded to the Knicks. And shout out to Knicks insider Ian Bagley for giving us this following information on where the Knicks stand on Giannis Antetokounmpo. According to him, nothing has changed on the Knicks and Giannis Antetokounmpo front. The Knicks will be one of his desired landing spots if he and Milwaukee part ways. Logic tells you he need Milwaukee to work with him on a trade in order to end up in New York. Could also use contract leverage to land in New York. Big hurdles to clear in my opinion. While it may be difficult, that first part there by Ian Bagley is very important. Nothing has changed. The Knicks are still interested in Giannis. Giannis will still have interest in joining the Knicks. But if the Knicks want to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, they better get ready to pay and pay a very sky-high asking price. Because according to reports, if New York wants to trade for Giannis, the Bucks, they do not want Karl Anthony Towns. That means a trade package will have to be built around OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Shout out to Forbes insider Evan Cedarty for giving us this following information. According to him, the Bucks would have no interest in Karl Anthony Towns for a potential midseason Giannis Antetokounmpo trade with the New York Knicks. New York would need to build a blockbuster deal around OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, who isn't trade eligible until January 31st to make the salaries work. Now, you guys know me. If you watch this channel, you know there is only one player I want the Knicks to trade for, and his name is Giannis Antetokounmpo. But what do I always say when I mention Giannis and I mention a trade for him coming here? I always mention it. You should never have to gut your team to get a superstar on this roster, because if you're gutting your team, and in my opinion, getting rid of OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and remember, building a package around those two, meaning it could be OG, Mikal, and a couple of other pieces on this team. That means you're losing significant pieces in a trade for Giannis. You're losing basically all of your defense to get Giannis on this team. And in my opinion, that is too high of a cost. I am not giving up OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, a couple of other pieces, likely picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo, because in my opinion, Giannis, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson, while they're going to be good and they're going to win you a fair share of games, they're not good enough to win the championship. They are not good enough as a team to get it done. Offensively, they will destroy teams. What about on defense? What happens on defense right now with two of the best wing defenders in the NBA in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges? The Knicks defense, it's still not good. It's still a work in progress. You're telling me you want to get rid of all of that and then some just to get Giannis here? Why? So we can watch him lose in the orange and blue? No, thank you. The Bucks have lost it. They've lost their minds. They think they're going to be able to call it. Let me get this straight. You think you're going to be able to call this trade that you're going to make with the Knicks? You think you're going to have the power? You have the power now because Giannis has not done the one thing he needs to do to make sure this trade is not gutting the Knicks. And that one thing, and Ian Begley already mentioned it earlier, is requesting a trade out of Milwaukee, but doing even more than that. Letting Milwaukee know he only wants to be traded to the Knicks and no other team. If he does that, he will significantly impact what that trade package is. And one other thing I have to mention, the Knicks, they're not hurting right now. They're not wishing to make this Giannis trade right at this immediate moment. They're okay with waiting if they need to wait. They like the roster that they have. And I'm not the only one who's saying this. Knicks insider Ian Begley also reported the following. Shout out to Ian Begley for giving us this following information. While the Knicks did make a real offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo in the offseason, because clearly they want him on this team, it's worth noting that they like their group at this point in the season, per league sources in touch with the team, meaning they don't really want to make a move unless they know this move is never going to be on the table again and it's too good to pass up. If that's the case, sure, New York will make a move. But clearly, if the Bucks want to have this type of asking price, New York will not make a trade for Giannis. They'll wait. They'll wait till the summer of 2026 when Giannis will likely ask out of Milwaukee and the number one team on his list will be the New York Knicks. We also have to mention this. Last night, Giannis's trade value took a major hit. Shout out to Sports Illustrated for giving us this following information. Giannis Antetokounmpo suffered a non-contact right calf strain last night against the Detroit Pistons while he was in the game. Thankfully, it wasn't a torn Achilles. That was the initial belief by the Bucks when Giannis initially went down. Thankfully, according to Shams, that is not the case, but he will be sidelined for approximately 2 to 4 weeks. Now, some of you guys have asked me in the comments before, Troy, you say you want Giannis. You say you don't want to give up OG Anunoby, but I haven't really seen any trade packages that get the Knicks Giannis that doesn't include OG Anunoby. Well, if you thought that, or you think that's the case, I am happy to burst that bubble. There is a trade package that could be made available if Giannis requests out. Because remember, this is all contingent on Giannis Antetokounmpo going to Milwaukee and saying, I want to leave this franchise, and the only place I want to go is the New York Knicks. If that happens, this following trade, it's going to be on the table. Shout out to ESPN's Kevin Pelton for giving us this following information and a potential trade package the New York Knicks could offer the Bucks to get Giannis on this team. This following trade package gets Giannis on this team and gets Jericho Sims once again returning and back on this team. And the Milwaukee Bucks in this trade package would get Karl Anthony Towns, Pacome Dadier, Tyler Kolek, a 2026 first-round pick, top 8 protected via the Washington Wizards. Otherwise, and really we know it's going to be the case, it's going to be second-round selections in 2026 and in 2027. Then it'll be the 2028 first round swap, worst of the Bucks or the Trailblazers for the Knicks. Then the 2030 first round swap, worst of the Bucks or the Trailblazers for the Knicks. And then the 2032 first round swap. All of these things included would get the Knicks Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the money would work. OG not included. Mikal Bridges not included. Now maybe you're saying, really, recap? The Bucks would never take that trade package. You know, maybe you're right. But the one factor we don't know, that we can't consider yet, is Giannis requesting out and what that does to Milwaukee and all of their leverage. Because remember, they have leverage now because Giannis has not done that. Once he does, where is their leverage? If they don't accept the Knicks offer and they know Giannis wants to leave and only wants to go to the Knicks, and other teams around the league know that too, will other teams around the league really go hard for Giannis? Will they give up everything that they can for Giannis? Or because they know eventually, no matter what, he wants to go to the Knicks, they're not going to give their best trade offers out there? Because why would they do that for a player that clearly only wants to go to one place, that only wants to play for one franchise? This is why Giannis asking out is so key, because it backs Milwaukee into a corner where they have to accept whatever package the Knicks have on the table. And shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, for giving us this updated information and these latest odds on who's going to win the NBA Finals this season. And as you can see, things here once again have changed a lot. One thing still remains the same. OKC is still on top. They're at plus 130. Then the Nuggets, they're at plus 700. The Rockets, they're at plus 1,000. But look here, the New York Knicks, they're at plus 1,100, but they have crawled back and beat a lot of teams that were in front of them. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers, who were in front of the Knicks all season long, have finally fallen behind them. They're at plus 1,300. And then rounding out this list is the Lakers, and they're at plus 1,600. But let me tell you guys something. If the New York Knicks trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they do that trade right now, middle of the season, I promise you, their odds will skyrocket. It will go all the way up, likely topping the list, especially if New York is giving up the trade package that ESPN provided. The Bucks, they can dream about these sky-high asking prices. Do it all you want. I'm just going to sit back and wait. Leon Rose, he's going to sit back and wait. Everyone is going to wait until that moment, that inevitable moment that finally comes. Giannis requesting a trade out of Milwaukee. Will it happen before the trade deadline? It's possible, but I don't think so. I don't feel like that's in Giannis's nature. I feel like he's going to play out the season. But in the summer of 2026, Giannis, he will request a trade out of Milwaukee. And number one on his list will be the New York Knicks. Giannis does not want to join a gutted Knicks team. He wants to join a Knicks team that has a chance to win a championship for multiple seasons. So that means whatever trade package the Knicks offer, the Bucks, whether they like it or not, they're going to have to accept it. But what about you guys? What do you think about Milwaukee's sky-high asking price regarding a deal for Giannis, where they want a deal built around OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges? Let me know how you feel about that. And if you would make this trade if you were the president of basketball operations like Leon Rose. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.